This painting I started on the 8th, and it's one that I've done on paper, and it's quite shiny paper, so it's not very absorbent. So it's part of an experiment to try different types of paper now that I know how to work with paper a little bit better. And I actually see it more of a landscape image, but this app doesn't like me putting that on there, so I've put it on here as a portrait image, and it actually works just as well. It kind of looks like on the left-hand side half a mask with one eye, and then on the right-hand side almost like a Yeti. But in landscape, that right-hand side object is actually more of a shell. It could relate to nutshell, but also like this idea of Venus and emerging from like a shell, which relates a little bit to the idea behind the painting, which was this idea of turning something negative into something positive. So in this instance, it was loneliness into contentment or connection. And loneliness as in you're not necessarily alone, you may feel disconnected probably from yourself. So over on the left-hand side, which is at the top of the image as you look at it, there's this face, somebody with a pointy nose, red face, so that alchemical connection coming back again. Then there's like a lizard in the back of their head, and then from the top of that is emerging what I see as like a rose, almost like with a feather boa that wraps around the top. And then several blue flowers coming out the back there. And then almost out of not quite the top of their head, but there's this lotus flower, which is beautiful, and it looks like there's almost like a blue soldier carrying a red female there. Inside that, what I see as a shell, but it also looks a bit like a Yeti, is what looks a bit like a dolphin or a whale, but above their head is like a crown. And towards the bottom of the image is this sort of what I've called swirly energy, which looks a bit like somebody swimming, but also like a face or a mask, but with only one eye. And there's also this sort of thing, goat or donkey-headed being with blue wings here as well. So overall, I love the picture. I would definitely put this in a frame. I've got one more picture to share that I've done on similar paper, but I don't think I'd work with this again. I prefer something with a bit more texture. And I think I set out to achieve what I wanted, which is the idea of turning something negative into positive, because the picture really does speak of connection. And there's a lot of peace there, even though there's a lot of this red energy, which a lot of people associate with like fire or whatever. The creatures in the picture seem perfectly content or at home with that energy. Thanks for listening, and please like and subscribe.